The Islanders have a bunch of gaps with illness and injuries on the roster. So naturally, fans are going to the trade market and looking for whatever player they think will fill those gaps. And in doing so, they're pulling from the prospect pool. So in thought of that, what player in the prospect pool or players in the prospect pool are unmovable? I want to say thank you to anyone who stopped by at the UBS while I was there to say hi or thank you for the content. I really appreciate it. It was nice meeting all of you. It was really nice putting a face to names or just knowing people enjoy what I'm doing out there. 2, I'd also like to thank the people who reached out during my inconvenient or ordeal, if you will, trying to cross the border. I'm saying ordeal because it wasn't actually an ordeal. It was more inconvenient than anything else, but it really sucked to not be able to go home when you want to for no real reason at all, or at least no reason that you had any control over. So it's all over. I'm here in Canada. I'm nice and cozy. Thank you to anyone who reached out with some positive messages. I really appreciated it. As you know, the Islanders have a bunch of gaps in the roster right now. They've got 7 guys out on the COVID protocol list and 2 guys who are out for weeks with injury. That's Brock Nelson, who's out 2 to 4 weeks, and Ryan Pulock, who's out. The diagnosis was 4 to 6 weeks and is probably more like 3 to 5 weeks now. So they've got some gaps. And so naturally, fans are going to the trade market and finding any player they think would suit the Islanders system or fill one of the Islanders' gaps, and they're pulling from the prospect pool. Okay, well, what player shouldn't be pulled from the prospect pool? And when I try to answer that question, I actually have 4 other questions to help me come to a decision. And so here's my internal questioning to kind of help me decide, is a player unmovable or not? First, what is the Islanders' goal? What are they trying to do this year? The goal is to win a Stanley Cup, right? That's very clear. 2, when does that goal need to be achieved, right? That's this year. We all know that. The Islanders are going for a Stanley Cup this year, regardless of what you think of the record right now. The Islanders are still in a Stanley Cup win mode this year. This isn't 2 years from now we hope to be Cup competitive. 3 years from now we hope to be Cup competitive. No, it's this year. Third is, what are they missing to reach that goal? And now, obviously a lot, I suppose, if you factor in the illnesses and the injuries. But let's just factor in what they're missing pre-injury and illness, because there's no way we're going to replace 9 guys. It's just not going to happen. And we have to remember that all of those guys are coming back. Each and every one of them. All of them are coming back, right? At the latest, Ryan Pulock will be back in 5 weeks. That's the longest one right now. But before they all went out, what were the Islanders missing? A sniper and a puck mover on the back end. The puck mover was on the back end, just to be clear. So that's what they're missing. And then the 4th one is, does a player allow them to do all 3? Right? So the final question is, okay, you've established what the team's goal is, when it needs to be achieved, and what they're missing. Now, does this player that you're thinking of allow them to do all 3? So the reason I'm struggling here is because there are very few that would hit those all 3. The only one I can think of is Robin Salo. That's the only one I can think of. Right? Their goal is to win a cup. Their goal is to win it now. And so the player has to be ready now to fill in the spot that they're missing, and that's a puck mover. He's the only one in the entire prospect pool that allows them to do all 3. There's no one else in the prospect pool that does that. Say what you will about Aturatu. Love the kid, think he's got a ton of potential, but he's not ready now. He's just not. He's obviously not a puck mover, but he could be a top 6 center at the NHL level eventually. But the Islanders are in win mode now, not eventually. So when it comes to making these trades to service what the Islanders need, the only player that I could think of who shouldn't be moved is Robin Salo. And even then, as long as you're finding an upgrade on Robin Salo, done. Yeah, let's do it. So you see the trades for Jacob Chychrun, for example. I would do that. I would move anyone to get Jacob Chychrun. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to move all of them together to get him. I'm not saying to overpay for Jacob Chychrun. But if the trade for Jacob Chychrun is Aturatu and a first-round pick, I'd think about it. That's a guy who could have put up 25 goals last year from the back end. He plays on the power play. He's strong and tough. He gives the Islanders what they're looking for now. And if Robin Salo isn't ready now, and I don't know if he exactly is ready today, but it seems that he's at least closer than he's far away, you make the move for Jacob Chitrin. You really do. So thinking of the Islanders prospect pool, there isn't really anyone who's unmovable, that cannot be moved, right? Robin Salo is maybe the only one. You can't even argue that Aatu is unmovable. You can't. Because he doesn't service those 4 questions. This is not a shot at his quality. The kid has a ton of quality and a ton of potential. There's no doubt about that. But he's not there yet. And the Islanders are there now. And they need now. The goal is a Stanley Cup this year. And Aatu does not help them get there, mainly because he can't come over. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Again, thank you for reaching out, whether it was in person at the UBS Arena or through DMs while I was in the state for an extra couple of days, or an extra day, I should say. Thank you. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that button. And if you have, guess what? Thank you.